Hi everyone, my name is Kanami. I just graduated in class of 2020 with the major of public health sciences. I'm a optometry or pre-optometry student. I just got into optometry school for fall of 2021. So I'll just be sharing my process of getting into optometry school with you guys.
So where did you get into again?
Okay, so I applied to 9 different programs, which is a lot, and I just wanted to be safe with the whole process. I got interviews at all of them, but I only interviewed at 6 of them because it's very I think it was a lot like time consuming. I was realizing how time consuming it was. So I did 6 interviews. And right now I'm debating between 2 schools, the New England school, and then there's a school in SoCal called SCCO. So
Oh, awesome.
yeah,
That's so
Congratulations.
exciting.
thank you.
Cool. What are the factors that you're deciding between?
I know, right? It's so different. One's like I feel like is safe because it's in SoCal. I know I like the area. It's a really good program. They've been established for, really my dad went there, so it's been established for a long time. Um, so I think that one is like my safe choice and like I feel comfortable and it's nice because like you can save money on rent and everything because I'll get to live at home. But the other option is New England, and I think that one is a little bit more adventurous. I actually visited within the last month or two. It was really pretty. It's really different there. So, and I've never lived on the East Coast, and that was like my second time visiting the East Coast. So it's really different. I think I have until May to actually decide because I'm holding my spots at both schools. So I'm just kind of waiting it out and seeing, kind of weighing the pros and cons for the next couple months. I have a while.
Yeah, if money is not a problem, I say go out. I
I
think
know.
it's living in a different state by yourself.
Yeah. I also actually there's one more option that I'm debating on too. I got waitlisted at Berkeley, so I'm just waiting. So that one's like I know it would NorCal would be fun too. So I'm kind of that one is also in the factor. I'm just kind of waiting to see what happens within the next couple months.
Please, I want to know where you're going.
I know, I do too.
I'd be scared to go. I'm scared to make new friends. I feel like every time I have a group, I'm just like I'm done for life.
I
Too
know.
hard to make friends, but
But you did a big thing. I feel like going out of state is like one of the scariest things for me.
Yeah, I know. Most of us just stayed in California. I mean, even Ariella, you came to SoCal, so I feel like that's a big change from NorCal.
I've always wanted to leave California, but I think going to SoCal is like the biggest I can do.
I know, yeah. I like so Irvine is 40 minutes from my hometown, so it's like so close and like I know my first year I didn't really go home that often, but just knowing that I could go home was really nice. So, but yeah, I think I want to end up settling in SoCal. So then I'm telling myself maybe I should just go somewhere else, for optometry school just to have like a different, experience somewhere else. Or
if you're coming back to work, I think you should just go anywhere because it's just such a different experience. To know you can't go home is not it's not comforting. I don't know why I was gonna say that. It's just it pushes you independent, you know?
It definitely does.
Yeah, just like the
Yeah, but I
mental
think it's like I'm sure you've grown so much just just having that like not like knowing that you can't go home whenever you want. Like I'm sure you like learned a lot from it too. So I think that's something I probably should, I should feel.
No, I mean wherever you're comfortable.
There's a lot of
Mhm.
things that way, but
Yeah.
I feel like you like to travel, so.
Oh yeah, you're always in Hawaii.
Oh my gosh, I want to go to Hawaii. Yeah, I do like to travel. I think it would be fun. I know optometry school, their fourth year, as a fourth year, it's like you do rotations. So I know I want to go to Hawaii for one of my rotations. That's like my goal.
Oh my
Oh, that
gosh,
sounds like
that's
Yeah.
so
so
much fun.
Do your parents have any like are they for any school in particular? So
I think my mom went SoCal because it's close to home. My dad, so he actually went to optometry school and like graduated in the 80s, late 80s. So, and he went to the school in SCCO, and he really like he didn't apply to as many schools. He's not very biased over it, which is helpful too. So I can make my own decisions, but he's not really biased over staying in like staying at the school that he went to or going out and trying another program.
That's really nice, actually. Like if they kind of pushed you towards one, you'd probably have to end up going there.
Yeah, I know. I'm lucky because they're trying not to do too many biases, so I can like kind of decide on my own. But yeah, lots of factors to weigh into.
Cool, cool. So, what led you to want to pursue optometry?
So as I said, my dad's an optometrist, so I think like that always kind of sat in the back of my head. I'd always visit his office when I was little, and like the equipment's so like strange in optometry office. Like I feel like it's scary if you're a little kid. Like there's a lot of big machines, so I've always been like it's very like always been interesting to me. But as I got older, it kind of got like I always went, so it's like oh like I know what that stuff like I've been familiar with the equipment there and just how like eye exam works. And then, so when I entered college, always was like, I wanted to do something pre-health. So optometry still kind of sat at the back of my head. It wasn't confirmed until this past year. I did an internship actually at UCI through my major. So public health has you do a practicum, and it was at UC Irvine's iMobile. It's actually on campus, and it's a nonprofit program. So it's pretty much like this mobile eye van. Like they do eye exams, and like is a big van, and they travel to different schools. So they're serving like children, like mostly elementary school children, and it's just doing eye exams on there. And they're free services, and I think it's great. It's all around OC area, so I think that was something that I didn't know. Like optometrists, like I didn't optometry has been so like limited in like my eyes growing up. So just seeing that it can be used like for something like that is really cool and makes me want to pursue it even more. So
So cute. Cool. Okay. So did you have any other options in your head like going through college, or was this always number one?
oh yeah, I did. So I think another big option that I was weighing too was a physician assistant because I just know I think it's a really up and coming field, and it's something that I didn't have any like family members doing, but was something that was still very interesting to me. So and I liked how you can do like you could even specialize in the eyes if you wanted to be a physician assistant and work in some like eye clinic. You could probably do that too, but yeah, I think the last experience with iMobile was something that was so specific to optometry that, even the physician assistant, I think is a great career path as well. It solidified what I wanted to do.
That's amazing. That's great. Yeah, I feel like it's so hard to decide, especially if there's so many options in health. But
Hmm.
yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people in undergrad, they just know like the general aspect. Like most people just know they want to do pre-health, and then I feel like PA is like so flexible that it's a good choice for people who
Yeah.
are deciding what they like.
Yeah, I know. And it's really funny because even when I think back, like at high school, I think optometry was something still like strongly like influencing my like career choice. Like, because I would say like, you fill out stuff and like it's like, oh, what do you want to do when you graduate college? And I would still pick optometry or that was something that was on my top list. So something that I think it's nice to, I'm just so familiar with it that it feels very comfortable for me to pursue that field.
Yeah, I think it's really important for people to get hands-on experience because when you decide on health, it's so hard to say, "Oh, I want to do this to help people," because that's all you're doing, or to focus on a specific part of the body unless you find like really strong interest in it, which is hard to do, I think, in my opinion. So I feel like it's important for people to go out and see the functions and what you actually do every single day, because that I feel like that's the biggest difference between every health career. For a physician assistant, you just run around the clinic,
Yeah.
talk to a lot of people, but yeah.
I know, yeah. The experience is really helpful. I know like Ariella and I had like a job
Oh,
together. So like we like I mean that was another optometry. So I worked with my dad and like starting in high school, like in the summers I would help him out. And whenever like summers in college too, I would try to help out as well. And then with Ariella, we were working in another optometry office that was specializing, yeah, in low vision. So I think like just having like hands-on experience in whatever you want to do is really important, because you like, and even like I get another layer of it too, just seeing my dad, like his work schedule and him coming home and like seeing how he reacts to different ways like patients treat him. Like I can kind of like gauge how like intense or like how what like he does in the office or how much it affects him. So that helps me to kind of like gauge what it will be like when I'm an optometrist someday.
Oh, cool. Yeah, my dad has a clinic too. He's a doctor and I'm a pre-med. But I I worked in his clinic too, and I actually like, well, I guess it's really different if you're in like MAing rather than being a doctor. Um, but I kind of didn't enjoy it. Like I did not enjoy working in the clinic. It wasn't until after when I went to college and I was able to, you know, see what see the like human benefits of health, like seeing um, people come and talk about treating patients and their experience and all of that stuff. Where I was like, I think I could do this, but optometry is really different. Y'all got all those cool things and the
I know there's a lot of
yeah,
equipment.
I think I'd find that really cool too. Um, so we wanted to know why you finished your degree in 3 years as opposed to four. Like, was it a decision that you made coming into college, or was it something that you just decided, oh, my schedule is, I'm done?
Yeah, so actually it was a surprise. I didn't figure it out till this past year. I think it was like mid-winter quarters, like midterm season, and I was procrastinating and like trying to look at my 4-year schedule. Because something like I always like thought in my head, or I really wanted, like I think like taking as much time as you need in college is really important. And like I think it's like my parents always say, because they both went to college as well, they say it's like the best 4 years of your life. So I was like, I don't want it to go by really fast. But you know, of course it does. And I think like for me, I finished early because I took summer classes, and it just like somehow satisfied so many of my requirements. And um, I also took Hume Core my freshman year, so that also like knocked out all my GEs pretty much. So I had like very little requirements to fill after that. So I think it was very surprising. I like couldn't believe it. I was like trying to like figure out like, wow, is that did I, because I had planned to graduate in, you know, this spring of 2021. That's always been my plan. But somehow I think I just like had wrote classes that I didn't need down. So that's how.
If you could just walk us through the application process, just to give like some advice or like things to watch out for us future applicants.
Yeah, of course. So I actually optometry, the optometry, it's called Optomcast. It's like a portal. So it's pretty much like a universal portal for all. There's only, I think there's 23 optometry schools. There's not a lot. So it's for all of them. So you pretty much apply through this portal, but you can have access to it like you know, like I could have access it to now for next year's application, like for next year's cycle. So pretty much it's the same. It's very similar every year. I don't know if it's the same, but it's similar. It's like just filling out basic information. So I kind of started that in like May time. I just kind of looked at it and like got familiar with it just so I knew what it would be like having the actual portal like for my cycle opened. Um, and then I started writing my personal statement. There's pretty much one big personal statement for optometry school, and it's like why optometry, and like you kind of, you know, it's just like your story. You kind of write your story, and that took me like a couple weeks to write and like perfect and like make how I wanted it. So I think so everything started like I started in May, so I started early, but the official portal opened in July, like the 1st of July. So I actually got all my like everything in by then. And I sent it on like the second or first day that it was open, which was really nice because I like did not want to think about it. Like that was my big thing. Like I just wanted it to get, it's like a weight lifted off my shoulders pretty much when I applied. So yeah, it's very straightforward though, the portal. And I think for the most part, you just write one big essay, but for certain schools, they have little like essays or mini essays that you can write specific to the school, and it's pretty much like why you want to go to that school or why you feel like you'd be a good fit for them and why they'd be a good fit for you. So and then after, I think it was like a month later, I heard like my first they got back to me with the invitation to interview. And of course, everything was through Zoom. So it was, I got excited because I thought my Chicago one, I actually thought it was in person. So I got, so even though it was like dangerous to travel, I got really excited because I thought it would be, fun just to like get the in-person experience. But I think benefits, there are definitely many benefits to having, online interviews. You save lots of money, and it's like, I think it was less stressful just because you have like the comfort of your own bedroom, and like you really could like get comfortable in your surroundings before getting the actual interview done. So but yeah, the interviews were very, I thought for the most part, very personal level. Like it's just trying to get to know who I was and like why I wanted to do optometry and like get a sense of like my personality. And then the interviews were like a whole day thing. It was like, or not a whole day thing, but like 5 or 6 hours sometimes. Yeah, so
How can
I
you
know.
talk to so?
Oh, no, no, no. So it's not, it's like 30-minute interview. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It was like the 5 hours was for like, it was like, they would do PowerPoints about the school and like time to talk with the students. Like they're trying to simulate like an actual interview day, which is really nice because I got like to hear perspectives from the students. And then some schools had like faculty coffee hours where like you could interact with the faculty. So yeah, that was really nice. I think like a lot of the schools put a lot of like work into their interview interview days. Like for the most part, most of my schools got back to me within 1 to 2 weeks, which is really
Wow,
fast.
that's so fast.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And then it's like they give you 2 to 3 weeks to like put your deposit down and like, give them a yes or a no sort of thing. So I think like that was really stressful for me because that's like something I wasn't expecting. Like I wasn't expecting everything, it like all like everything was like mumbled, like it was like weaving together. Like there were so many like I would have an interview, but then I'd get an acceptance, and then I would get like there's all these things happening like in the span of a month, and I was like, wow, it's like going by so fast. Like, or I don't know, it's like too many things are overlapping. I'm getting confused. So, but I don't know. I think for me, I applied to like all the schools I was interested in at once, and I thought the interview days were I thought they were really useful too, because like a lot of the times admission counselors would like give us like a mini tour of the school, or like through like they would try their best to like replicate. Yeah, and then one school even gave me like this gift card, which is really nice because it's like normally they treat you to lunch, right? So they sent me like a virtual like gift card that I can, or like that I can use like after for something I wanted or needed for myself. So I thought that was really nice and like personable.
Yeah. So are the interviews, would you say more professional or casual?
Casual, like definitely like I would, of course I would wear my like professional wear because but it was very casual, like for the most part. I felt very like it was normally with 1 to 2 faculty members, so it was like almost one-on-one for something, or one-on-two, and it was very like they were just like they would share stuff about them. It was a conversation like this. Yeah, so it was something I wasn't expecting because I got so scared that it was going to be like very like straight questions, and there was just me like focusing on me, but they would share stuff about themselves and like what they were researching or why they chose optometry. So yeah, and before a lot of my interview, I actually like would do like research on like what questions like certain school asked. Like I use, there's like student doctor network. I don't know if you've heard of that, but that was like really useful because like they have this whole optometry like section on it for every school, and they kind of like students just talk on there. So I don't know what's true and what's not, but kind of gave me an idea of like what I could expect for like some questions. So that was really helpful like in just preparing what I wanted to like, how I wanted to like portray myself during the interviews.
That's really cool. Wow. Those forums can be scary though. Some, when they do the chance me and they put all their stats and people are like,
Yeah, that
okay,
was,
you
yes.
adjust.
I know. Yeah. And some of them go back so far. So I'm like, I don't know if it's relevant still, because it's like from 2006. And I'm like, wow, it's so like,
Oh yeah.
I was like, yeah.
Yeah, that and Reddit. Going
Oh, yeah. I didn't even use Reddit. I didn't think about that, but I'm sure. there would have been some information I could have gotten from there.
They're very helpful. They're very, like for MCAT, they post everything. They like have
Oh,
a study guide for
Wow,
everything, and I'm like, wow,
that's great.
very nice. Yeah.
I know, like the internet's your best friend. They have all the answers.
Wow, that's good to hear because
mm-hmm.
I'm thinking like these grad school interviews are very serious and scary, and but
Yeah, I know. I really do feel like though in person it would be so much different. Like, cause my nerves always get to me, like, especially in person. Like, I think sitting next to them or sitting like across from them would have been so much different. But they made me feel really comfortable. So I feel like in person, like these schools would have done the same to like, I think they want you just as much as you want them sometimes. So it's kind of like a nice, like, it's comforting to know that they like, they're trying to like impress you.
cool.
Yeah, I'm so. It's so nice to hear like how you've been, because like
Yeah.
all joined AED about around the same time, and like you're getting to grad school. That's so exciting.
Yeah, I know. I actually was just with my big run wrong today, and it was just like we were talking about. It's so crazy how I don't know. I feel like it's crazy that I like, or we're applying, or like she's studying for MCAT right now, and like it's like going on to the next step, which is scary, but very exciting. And it's weird. It's like such a weird time to be doing all those things too, right? They're like quarantine, and I think the pandemic made me like focus more, which is good, but it was also a lot more boring. So
I feel like it's so nice when you hear your friends are getting into schools because
Mm-hmm.
um we always like study together and watch each other go through the process and study for tests and everything, and just knowing that someone got accepted somewhere, got an interview, it's just the best thing in the world, especially during these times you don't hear anything good, but
I
it's not
know,
it's
yeah.
Yeah.
I know it's yeah, it's exciting though. I think it's exciting just seeing like people moving on to the next, like wherever they want to or whatever field they want to go into, just moving on to that stuff.
yeah. I think it's so hard to picture yourself onto the next step when you're going through undergrad because everything, you fail this class or you do really bad and you don't get this opportunity, but
I know, I know. It's like little things too would bother me so much too at UCI, like those little things. And I think like at the end, like I'm realizing like, it's like how much I think like you show that your interest like through what you do and like your interest and like I don't know. It all ties together at the end. I wish I told my like freshman year self like it'll be okay. Like don't stress out so much over classes. Like, you'll get to where you want to go in the end. Just work hard.
I feel like that's half of it, how much you want to do it. Like you shouldn't look at your school as a checklist of, oh, I need to volunteer, I need to do this. It's just do what you're interested in, do what you want to, and if you're supposed to be at that school, you'll be there.
No, exactly. I think that's like a great way of putting it too.
Unfortunately, you weren't able to finish like your last couple of quarters at UCI. Hopefully, we're able to at least finish ours, but at this rate, we won't be. But we would just like to know, like, what do you miss the most so far?
I think I miss the people the most. Like or like every so like AD and like Dragon Boat. I was also involved in Dragon Boat at UCI. Like just like both organizations had like such hardworking like and unique individuals that I feel like I would never meet if I didn't get involved in different orgs. But I think like people I just miss like I think having like just like that environment and like that like positive like vibe around me was really nice and I miss it and I don't know I hope like wherever I go to school next I can find that same like environment and vibe so I think that really helped me get through school but yeah I'll miss the people and I think relationships that you make throughout your college experience is really important too so yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that builds you as a person. You think high school friends do that for you, but I think it's whether you're in college or not, it's just once you after 18, after 20, every single year is so important to building who you are in the end. I feel like every year in college you learn so much.
Mm-hmm.
1 year of knowledge in college, not just from school, but from people and everything is equivalent to like 5, like your whole high school career.
I know. Even though I was only like, I guess it was like 2.5 years, I guess, because like
Yeah.
I right when the pandemic hit, I like went home, so I wasn't even in Irvine. But I feel like I was there. It felt like a long time. I could have been longer. I think I could have definitely stayed longer, but it felt like a long time, even though it wasn't. I think freshman year felt really long too, or just like because everything's so new and like adjusting. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like each year you grow by like 5 years. Like you feel like you gain so much wisdom.
I
Like
know. 5 years. I know. We're like, it's like 15 years already.
yeah, it's like it's weird as well because I still feel like a first year sometimes. Like it's weird to see that I've traded places with like the people we used to look up to, and yeah.
The bad thing about that is you look back from 6 months ago and you know, like why did I do that? Why did I act like that? It's the worst. It's the worst. But it's good because you know you're not like that anymore. Hopefully. Well, I've done a lot of embarrassing things. But yeah, cool. So, sorry. So, what are you most excited now that we talked about what you're gonna miss? What are you most excited about for optometry school? There's so much.
Yeah, your
Yeah.
next in your life.
I know. I'm excited just to meet like a new group of people, and I think AD was really unique because like I had never been surrounded by a group of people who all wanted to do like pre-health. So I think that was like a nice, because I know like you guys all know like the classes you have to take, or like you guys taken similar courses to me, so you understand like, the rigor of everything. And I think it'll be nice to like go into a program like with everyone doing the same exact thing. I think it'll be interesting. Like I've never had someone with like, I know optometry school, you have the same schedule as everyone. It's like you taking the same classes. So I think that will be something really new and interesting. And I'm excited to meet other people who want to do the same thing as me, and I want to see like why they want to do it. I'm like interested, like how they got interested in optometry as well. So I think that will be exciting, like starting. But yeah, I'm nervous too. It's like meeting a whole new group of people. But I think it's exciting and nerve-wracking at the same time.
I don't know when there will be a next pandemic, but when there is, this will be perfect. This is the
No.
video to
I
watch.
know.
All right, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Come see us.
Okay. Yes, I want to come by soon. I hope you guys stay safe.
You too.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.